Before the election, Tinubu said he want to follow Buhari's footsteps, that he want to continue from where Buhari stopped. And after he has assumed office, he is now saying that he inherited liabilities, that Buhari did not do well with the economy. Now, Mr. P2B has come out to ask him, show us the liability you inherited. If you said you inherited liability, let us see.
Buhari! 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 Buhari!
The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has reacted to the claim by President Bola Tinubu that his government inherited liabilities from his immediate predecessor, Muhammadu Buhari. According to reports, Tinubu had, while meeting with the Vice President Country Programs of the Islamic Development Bank, Mansour Mukhtar, in Mecca, Saudi Arabia last week, said his administration inherited serious liabilities when it took over from Buhari on May 29th. Reacting, Peter Obi in a statement on Thursday questioned why Tinubu failed to give details of the liabilities inherited from the previous government. According to the former Anambra governor, whatever the administration inherited should be made known to the general public, saying a responsible government should be transparent and accountable. The statement reads, I just read yesterday a widely publicized story from the present APC-led federal government saying that they inherited a bankrupt nation from their predecessor APC administration. However, the report failed to disclose what they inherited, which had qualified us for bankruptcy status. One major characteristic of a responsible government is transparency and strict accountability. This demands that the government disclose exactly the degree of deficit they inherited. What is inherited should be disclosed to let the public know where we are and where we are headed. Obi recalled that the immediate past government of the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) made a similar claim in 2015 when it took over power from the People's Democratic Party (PDP). He lamented that despite the claims, the Buhari administration failed to improve on what it inherited, stressing that it left the country with a heavier debt burden. Instead, they took our debt profile from 12.6 trillion naira in 2015 to 87 trillion naira in 2023 when they left office, without improving on any indices of development, education, health, poverty eradication, and security. The nation's condition on every development index got worse, leading to the present sad state. Nigerians know things are bad and they experience it daily. What they now want to hear regularly are measurable and verifiable steps to improve the situation, the statement added.
You know, in some of the videos I made last week about how to become a good opposition, that you don't need to become a ruling party member or in government of the ruling party before you can make effect in Nigeria. So I think I have beginning to see how opposition party behaves. Because I was telling PDP and Labour Party that in 2015 or before 2015, that the kind of opposition that APC gave PDP made them to enter seat in 2015 because the heat was too much for Goodluck Jonathan. To the extent that when the INEC chairman, Tahiro Jega, has not even announced the result, Goodluck Jonathan started making call. It was heat, it was tension that he was having. So we are not going to keep quiet seeing this government doing whatever they want. Yes, we must play our part as opposition members of a political party. And apart from that, I am saying this. See, excuses are one of the things. Excuses and propaganda are the techniques of APC government. Remember when Buhari assumed office, he was giving excuses. The reason why I couldn't perform is because I inherited debt. I did this, I did that. But he was left with 8 years. He could not do nothing. He didn't do anything with the 8 years they gave him. After 4 years, another 4 years, at the end, everything worsened. So now Tinubu is saying that he inherited liability from Tinubu. This is the same story they are telling us. Now, he's just saying this because he knows that, oh, I don't think I can make any changes. You know, he has started borrowing upon borrowing, and Nigeria is not having revenue to even finance their own budget, talking less of to pay debt. In other words, this man will still leave us with burden of debt when he's going to leave office. It will be even like times 2 or times 3. He is going to multiply what Buhari did because he told us that he is going to follow Buhari's footsteps. So this is the situation we are seeing ourselves. But I'm happy that I have beginning to see, Labour Party in person of Mr. P2B and some PDP members trying to play the role of opposition party, not leaving the work of opposition for bloggers and for TV anchors like Rufai Hussaini, TV presenters. Because if you leave the work of opposition for us, it will be very difficult for us to do what you yourself supposed to do. Because it is very easy for them to single-handedly pick people out and find a way to attack them. But when you are at the forefront doing the work of the opposition, yes, people will follow you. Well, I think that is a good move, that we need to question every move of this APC government. If not, where we are going, we don't know.
Many of us from the north are famed for cattle keeping. And when you are driving the cattle through different grazing grounds, the cattle believe that you love them so much because you protect them from the elements, because you protect them from other wild animals. But if the cattle were to know that you are the one who would end up eating them, they would treat you very differently. Invariably, they do not know. And therefore, you will continue controlling them the way you do, and you will continue eating them the way you do. But it's a totally different case when you are leading human beings. They are not like cattle. You may lead them in a particular direction. You may think that you have lulled them into a false sense of security. You may think that you have deadened their minds. But always remember that one day, if you don't do that which is good and right for your fellow men, there is a day of reckoning. There is a day of reckoning, and history has demonstrated that it can come in the twinkling of an eye. History has demonstrated that kings have been toppled. History has demonstrated that presidents have been removed. History has demonstrated that great men have been cut down. History has demonstrated that men can rise when they are misled. History has demonstrated that men are indeed capable of rising up. I always read these words of the American Declaration of Independence because I love them. They apply to humanity. Before America became what it is, they had enlightened men. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are born equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it is for this reason that governments are instituted amongst men. And that when those governments fail to perform, it is the duty of those people to rise up and to remove such governments.